And here we go.
Get ready, get set for the best movie and pop culture talk in the universe. It's the Good Brothers on Mercado Airwaves with your hosts, Alex Mercado and Mike Mercado.
Welcome back to another episode of The Good Brothers. I'm Alex, that's Mike. We are The Good Brothers, the best brothers, and we are the best podcast for all things pop culture in the Midwest and in the multiverse and the Spider-Verse. Mike, say hi to the folks.
Hi, folks. Mike, how you doing, good brother?
Good. We have a lot to talk about, so let's get into it.
And we really do have a lot to get into, and why that is behind the curtain, so you can see the magical Wizard of Oz. We are recording this on a Friday, a Freaky Friday, here in the wonderful city of Chicago, so we were able to gather all the big news over the last week. And good brother, some of it is really good, some of it's frustrating, some of it's kind of scary.
Yeah.
So we get to it, but first we start with business, and that's what people spent their money on this past weekend. And at number one was The Invisible Man. Shout out to Cub fan Kate Moss for absolutely dominating in the box office. $28 million.
Off a $7 million budget.
Phenomenal.
Yeah.
I mean, phenomenal.
So it made, what is that, quadruple its money already?
Yeah, so a good shout out
Great
to...
reviews.
Yeah.
It's amazing that we've gotten so many great female-led horror movies in the last 2 years with Us and now Invisible Man and Midsommar and Hereditary. Like, It's very cool, the trend we're seeing. Like, these are... should be award-winning performances.
But what it also shows is the cream rises to the top. And when you put the right talent, Scream Queens was awesome. But in like the mid-2000s, late into it was more about like beauty and this
sexy.
is like
it's sexy, like
now
hostile, real.
But right now you got like Toni Collette in Hereditary, and you have Kate Moss and Elizabeth Moss is in
Lawrence Pugh.
I mean, it's just a great time. So shout out to The Invisible Man. At number two, Sonic the Hedgehog, a nice little family film.
Gonna get a sequel, gonna be great. That's all good for it.
Call of the Wild at number three.
Surprisingly still up there.
At number four, My Hero Academia, Heroes Rising is the anime film from Funimation.
It's like a Dragon Ball thing where the fans are going to go out and see it.
Shout out to
it's
them.
Easy to release. It's
made
cheap.
some money.
Yeah.
And you know what? As fandom, it's always
I hear it's great. Like, I hear that's the next big thing in anime after Dragon Ball Z. I haven't gotten into it. It's a lot, but
like it's huge in the culture.
Yeah,
but
like I hear it's very easy for a novice to get into.
Shout out to Bad Boys for Life at 5. 6 was Birds of Prey. 7 Impractical Jokers. 8, 1917, hanging out. Shout out to 1917. At 9, Bram's The Boy 2. And at 10, Fantasy Island. So that is what people spent their money on this past weekend. But good brother, holy cow, is it a stacked weekend. Yeah. Because this weekend, we have 2 movies that are coming out that are both highly ranked on Rotten Tomatoes, and they are also going up against a movie that is in the 91%. We are talking about Onward, the new Pixar film, at 87% on Rotten Tomatoes, and then we talk about The Way Back at 80% with Sir Ben Affleck himself going against Invincible Man at 91%, and let's just call it what it is, Sonic the Hedgehog. Good movies. Yeah. Strong weekend.
So it's, obviously, I think with the 2 movies are Onward and The Way Back, we're talking, these might be award nominee movies. Like, we're getting early buzz. This might be Ben Affleck's, he might get a nom for this.
What is he when it comes to behind the scenes? Is he a writer? Is he
he's just acting. No, he's just acting. Yeah. And he's doing, press for this.
He's done great press, especially sports press.
It's fantastic. Like, the press he's done. And it's kind of bringing him back. I think we're about to see the rise of Ben Affleck again, like now that he's sober and healthy. And it's a great story. Like, me, I've talked about it. It's getting great reviews. I'm going to see it tonight. They didn't have any early premieres.
Yeah, we were trying to go see it yesterday.
They didn't have any early premieres, so that just goes to show you the kind of movie this is, where they're like, it's not the money we're looking for. It's really more, this is Ben Affleck's life, and I can relate a lot to, it's a struggling coach who's lost a lot, who throws himself back into this coaching of something he loves, and finds love in life in general. And like, I was watching the trailer in theater, and I started getting teary-eyed. And that, I love these movies. It's the same director that did Warrior and just these emotional sport movies at Miracle. So it's going to tug on the heartstrings. It seems like a great story. I can't wait to see it. Then you have Onward, which is Pixar. It's going to make money. It's going to get a nom. Here's the early reviews we're hearing. It's good, not great. And here's the problem, and I think Disney is in this. We need something fresh. Like, I remember when we got Inside Out and Coco, we kind of got a fresh take. I feel like we're a little stagnant on these we're going to put two buddies together and they're going to adventure.
Well, I feel like
I'm a little over that. And I think that the new Soul movie later this year, that's going to be the big coming out.
Yeah.
Onward, I think is met. That's why it's coming out when Toy Story did.
Yeah.
Like this is the same exact time where it's like, no, this is more just fun. Like this is fun.
It's
for your
going to make
kids.
its money.
Couple loving little moments, but I still feel like it's a formula that I would like to see us do more.
So give me 1, 2, 3, and 4 in the box office.
Onward would be 1. The Way Back would be 2. Invisible Man would be 3.
Sonic 4.
Sonic, and then Into the Wild.
I agree. Yeah, I totally agree with that. I'm super excited for Onward. Obviously, Chris Pratt and Tom Holland, great chemistry. They're charming. Yeah. Pixar, even when they're at their mediocre, that's an 8.5 standing. So shout out to them. I'm sure it's going to be fun. The Way Back, Ben Affleck finally getting off the shadow of what was the Batman and all that stuff.
And he's owned
forward.
it, and people have accepted it. Like you were a great Batman, and I get that we asked you a lot when you were struggling. Like you're a great writer, you're a great producer, you're a great director. But at the time, it was just bad timing for him, I think. And we can all accept that now and enjoy the Robert Pattinson stuff, which we'll talk about.
Yeah.
It's going to be a really cool, like, movies are really solid right now, and I love it. Like, when, you hate to see it, like, last year, I feel like sometimes movies come on, and you're like, man, that let me down, We haven't really seen too much of that right now.
Yeah.
Like, the movies that are supposed to hit are hitting, and that's a good sign.
So this coming up week, we'll definitely try to have our reviews of Onward, The Way Back, Invisible Man, and we'll talk about all these and what the word is after a very strong weekend in the box office and theaters. But good brother, we mentioned how there was some serious news in the world of pop culture, and not just the world of pop culture, but the entire world.
Yeah.
We're talking about the coronavirus, and I think it's actually called COVID-19
Let's just
or
go with
16.
coronavirus,
But we're gonna, for the sake of
Dos
conversation,
Equis virus,
the Dos Equis virus. Corona outbreak has actually hurt movies, and with this strong of a weekend, and we're seeing it in sports venues right now where a lot of people just aren't going out.
Was it Italy main soccer team closed down? I know from my world in cheerleading,
I was going to say, you've been in the
they're
airport.
putting it out there of you need to be prepared that we might have to cancel our world championships.
And one of the movies that has been hit by this is No Time to Die. That's James Bond 25, and this comes to us from our friends at Variety as No Time to Die postponed due to coronavirus outbreak. No Time to Die will be postponed until November. The James Bond sequel backers announced on Wednesday. The film was originally announced to be released internationally on April 2nd and in the United States on April 10th. However, the spread of the coronavirus has led to closures of theaters in major markets such as Italy, South Korea, China, and Japan.
So first point, so the whole story with the James Bond movie, the No Time to Die, right? So No Time to Die, what's fascinating is at first we were getting mixed reports of, is it the coronavirus? Is this what it's affecting it? And we found out, like I said, Wednesday, no, it was that. That was the big reason. And I don't blame them when it comes to that. Here's my thing. They use this a proper way. Because every James Bond film in the last Daniel Craig, quadrilogy has come out in November. So that's smart. I think what they had planned to do at first was kind of catch that fast money of like, let's come out in April, be the first summer blockbuster, catch the money, which it usually has not worked out for anyone. Like Solo didn't work out for.
Only Fast and Furious.
Only Fast and Furious, because it's such a set franchise, has it worked for. So I think it's actually going to be very great for it. Because if this is a good movie and it's very long, I think November is the perfect spot for it. Because look at last year. We were looking at November. We're like, I could use a blockbuster still. Like
one more.
Like you and me are into the,
like,
Oscars.
give me the Oscar films, but give me an Aquaman every once in a while.
That's you and me. But I do want to see like, oh, okay, cool. Like I can look forward to a James Bond movie in the beginning of winter.
Right.
So I think that's interesting. I'm fascinated to see what this does to movies because we've come into a genre where we are making a lot of movies for the China-based audience also. Not just, like, we're not the main audience. We are,
arguably, they are the main audience.
They're pretty much, they make as much money, if not more. So I think it's fascinating to kind of see what's the film industry going to do right now when we don't have that market. Is that going to change till we go about next year? But it's movies. It's kind of too late at this point. So you can't change the film. All you can really do is change your advertisement and your release dates. So this is interesting. Mulan hasn't moved yet, which I think is very interesting. I think that movie's going to bomb.
Well, we got a lot of
I
things.
think it's going to get a lot of bad. It just doesn't. I feel like it doesn't know what it wants to be, and that's not okay.
Save your stuff for Mulan, because what I really want to do is a deep dive of that movie from where it went to when it
aspects.
comes to politically speaking, where it comes to business-wise and what they've taken creatively. When it actually comes out, you and I will talk about deep dive of that. But kind of sticking to the coronavirus and what you were kind of corresponding with Mulan and James Bond is I wonder what this means financially for the studios. Are they prepared for this type of loss? Have they made this move knowing full well that the rest of 2020, some of their movies will be affected? And I think what's interesting is you don't see Disney. Disney probably was one of the main studios, and even with Warner Brothers, that may not be affected as much as we think because their tentpole movies are not out in 2020. There are a lot of 2021 films. So it's interesting to see that, but I think for a lot of people in pop culture who don't watch mainstream news, and the ones who do, there's a lot of, and I'll say fear-mongering, but when you see businesses start to kind of prepare for, well, we don't want to be liable, we want to make sure that everything is we're as clear as possible, it's something to pay attention to. So we'll see if there's any other news when it comes to potential business affected by the coronavirus.
Yeah, no, the airport was crazy. Like, I just flew out of DFW and O'Hare, and those are two extremely large airports.
O'Hare's one of the biggest ones.
And it's fascinating. They have signs going around like, if you have a long beard, I would advise shaving it. Or, you know, you have these people, they're really trying not to make a lot of content. Don't blame them. Like, they're having you scan your own tickets. They're not even holding on. Like, they're trying to limit contact as much, and it's really not that different. Yeah. But it's fascinating to kind of see how everyone's reacting. Like, it's that lame joke. If you cough on a plane, everyone's gonna stare compared to, you know, back in the day, everyone coughed on a plane because it's a plane.
So we'll keep our eyes on the news that we get trickling down.
Wash your hands, y'all. Everything's disgusting. Just wash your hands.
Bingo. Good brothers. Something that isn't disgusting. Something that's filthy in all the best ways.
My gym picks, I know.
Absolutely. We got some amazing photos from the director of Batman himself. This comes from our friends at Deadline. The Batman director, Matt Reeves, reveals first look at Robert Pattinson's Batmobile. It really took the internet by storm, Twitter by storm. I'll be honest with you, good brother. The Batmobile is iconic as the character himself. It is hand in hand with them. It is Hi-Ho Silver to the Lone Ranger. This Batmobile is phenomenal.
I thought it was dope, and I'm excited because I don't want another. I don't need
another tank.
Exactly. If I wanted Nolan's Batman, I'd go watch the Nolan shows. Yes. They're perfect. If I wanted campy cartoon Batman, I'd go watch the cartoon. If I wanted a 90s Batman, I'd go watch Tim Burton's films. Like, there's room. I want a gritty, real. If Batman existed, it would be Robert Pattinson. If he had all this money, what kind of car would he have? He probably still wouldn't have a tank, but he'd have a really badass car. And I think people are going to eat their words. I think it's one of those things, like, internet has to complain about stuff. I think this movie is going to be Batman's first forte into maybe Oscar territory. Like, we've seen the Joker be there.
Interesting.
I think we're going to see Batman get in the conversation now because we've never gotten it, and we should have, because look at the actors that have played him. Yeah. Oscar nominee Michael Keaton, Oscar winner Michael Keaton, Oscar nominee George Clooney, Oscar nominee
Christian Bale,
and winner Christian Bale, Oscar winner and nominee Ben Affleck. Now Oscar potential that everyone claims is the next coming, Robert Pattinson. Like, but we've never seen it really go there. I can't wait for this. Matt Reeves is a genius. He's one of my favorites. If you're not excited about it, I get it, because it is they're set photos. It's hard. Like, and your cousin said the same thing. I'm like, just wait for the trailer. And I think the good thing with this is, compared to Star Wars, it's not toxic.
No.
I think people are like, prove me wrong. Like, I don't like it. Yeah. But maybe give me a trailer, and I might change my mind. And it's like, be like, oh, never mind. Like, I get what we're doing here.
When do you think, obviously, I think the photos are awesome. Everybody knows.
Yeah, I think they're perfect.
When do you think how many months are we away from a trailer?
When's the release?
October of next year. So Comic-Con this year?
Nah, Comic-Con we have. So another 3 months? Comic-Con we'll get something. We'll get a teaser.
Yeah, right.
And then
a full trailer.
And
maybe.
then in November we'll probably get a tail.
When is Wonder Woman coming out? Is that this
September?
year?
September, I believe. August?
I'll look it up right now.
July. It's July.
Yeah, okay.
I think it's July 31st.
Let me just double check. I don't know if there's 31 days in July.
July 3rd.
June 5th.
June
this
5th.
Year.
Okay, so I was way off.
So will we see anything of the Batman before or after June 5th?
No, I think Comic-Con's the first time you get a teaser.
Okay, if there is
maybe a voice. Yeah, I mean, maybe a voice or something. The internet's the internet, thank God. I love when Matt Reeves does this because, like, it's cool. I feel like we're keeping us involved, and it's like, hey, look at this. Hey, look at this. Hey, look at this. I know some people like the surprise, but to me, it's Batman. Yeah, so there really is no surprise, and if there is, he'll hold on to that surprise. Yeah. Like, if we're going to get a Joker, if we're going to get something. It's not like normal movies like Tenet, where it's like, no, I don't want to see a lot. Like, it's Batman. Like, I'm going to see the Batmobile, a bat bike,
I'll see
a
Alfred.
bat suit.
Yeah.
Let me see Alfred.
Yeah.
Like, I'm cool with that because I know these characters. So I'm super excited. I think the pictures look great.
Comic-Con is Thursday, July 23rd through Sunday, July 26th.
I think that'll be it because that's got to be their big tempo.
Yeah,
Because it's already going to be after Wonder Woman. So you're probably going to get some like Green Lantern core stuff for HBO. You got to do Batman.
Shazam 2 or
Shazam, Black Adam, Aquaman 2.
Yes.
Yeah, you kind of have to, right? Like,
So
that's kind of,
that's
or at least you bring Robert Pattinson on to talk a lot, right?
So it'll be interesting. I think that's where they're heading.
You have to. Like, there's no way you don't, because this is your year to take over. Because Marvel's not going to come out with anything too heavy besides the stuff we've already seen.
Nothing Marvel can bring out in 2021 will be bigger than the Batman.
No, like you'd have to come out and be like, we're already making Blade, and even then, it's like, well, Batman.
Look at like this is how, and I think sometimes people forget because we haven't had a solo Batman film since The Dark Knight Rises. There is no superhero franchise, character, or film bigger than a Batman release. I know that the Avengers made all the monies in the world because it was all the monies. But here's the bottom line: Iron Man, Captain America, Thor, these characters on their own cannot compete with Batman when it comes to financial. So in 2021, no matter how big the Eternals is or whatever, Black Panther 2 maybe culturally might actually give it a run for its money.
Yeah.
That might be one that culturally will actually do a big run for it. But there's nothing Marvel can do that's bigger than the Batman of 2021, in my opinion.
No.
So we'll be interested in see that. And good brother, everybody assumed that the news was that this franchise was going to be adapted into a huge movie franchise. But maybe, just maybe, the best case scenario happened. This comes to us from the Hollywood Reporter.
And I told you.
And you told me. The Last of Us is now in works at HBO as a series from Chernobyl creator Craig Mason and Neil Druckmann.
And Naughty Dogs is extremely connected to this. And they are, like, Naughty Dogs is, like, they're in the room. So we're getting the creators of the video game and the creators of last year's best TV show, best short series, which is exactly what you want from a video game. You don't want a long-running, like, Sopranos 5 seasons. You want one singular season, if not maybe 2. And these are the best people to write it because they wrote the best short series HBO's probably done since Band of Brothers.
Yeah, I think this is as great of news as you can
ask for a better connection.
I love some of the fan casting people are doing.
The visuals we're gonna get of like this, just
the created world,
this, like destroyed world with fungus, and like you look at Chernobyl, like the views we got of this destroyed city. You're like, oh, I can totally see them using the exact same location and tweaking it a little bit and being like, oh, this is going to be great.
I love the casting that they have. The guy who played Jaime Lannister as the dad. That'd be
I can't wait. Like, I think it's going to be fantastic. Like, this is going to be my next big casting news right now. Is like, well, who's going to be Ellie and
Joel.
Yep.
Yeah, so I haven't actually, here's the thing. I know the entire story, and I'm going to replay. I'm going to play for the first time.
That's one of the last games I actually played a little.
Last of Us.
Yeah.
But Last of Us 2 looks like it is the magnum opus of video games.
It's going to be the God of War. It's going to be Game of the Year.
So I cannot wait. So we'll play through it as we get, at least I'll play through it on Switch.
This was like 9 years ago when the first one came out.
I'll play through it though for sure because you know how I feel about those type of games.
That's
But I'm super excited about what we're getting from Naughty Dog. And then we also hear,
HBO, man, they are coming in hot.
But this isn't the last time we'll talk about Naughty Dog, good brother. We'll get back to Naughty Dog in just a second with some other fantastic news, in my opinion, about some Naughty Dog property. But all in all, this is a great direction of one story of a video game franchise that I think found its way.
You and me have called it. The next 5 to 10 years is going to be the uprise of the video game franchises.
And it might start with another Naughty Dog property, good brother. We got some interesting casting news. As Variety reports, Antonio Banderas, and you better put some respect on the name. That's Academy Award nominee Antonio Banderas.
Just recently
joins Tom Holland in the Uncharted movie.
Oof, the problem with this movie is like, I hope it's good, but you're gonna have to do extra now. Like, if this was normal, we just heard about it, it's fine. But the fact that we've pushed it so far, like, you're gonna have to come out and make almost a perfect movie.
So in this report, we first find out that Antonio Banderas will be joining Tom Holland and Mark Wahlberg
Marky Mark
in the Uncharted adaptation. We also find out that Ruben Fleischer the director of Venom, will direct this movie and is closing on a deal right now. So the job will be, they've been talking about this in January. So we will have that going on. They're expecting filming to start in April. So Naughty Dog has 2 franchises.
You can't keep pushing it, y'all. You gotta stop pushing. You gotta deliver on April.
But I think this is it, though. I think Naughty Dog has their IP. Sony has their IP of 2 franchises. They're going to have their 1 blockbuster and their 1 miniseries. Yep. And I think they have all the star power when it comes to their movie franchise. And now they can find great acting because they already have great writing. I think Naughty Dog, I think HBO, I think at this point it's Warner Brothers, who I'm not too sure who's producing this movie. Do you have any idea, good brother, who's producing on the Uncharted film?
I do not, actually.
Let me look this up.
It's been pushed and moved so many times. Like I said, it's hard to keep track of Uncharted news. And I love Uncharted. I mean, it's Indiana Jones for video game, but you got Mark Wahlberg, which doesn't give me the most confidence. Tom Holland's kind of hit or miss outside of Spider-Man right now, and I don't blame him. I think it's another one where he has to pick the right roles, but he's so young. You're like, just make movies. So I can't even fault him. Like, go make as many movies as you want at this point since you're like 20-something years old. Like, you're going to have plenty of time.
It has to be produced by Sony. Yeah, good brother. I totally agree. So I'm super excited to see what we get. And as long as it feels like for the first time in a long time, they are totally taking these franchises and these properties into a respectable level and they're putting some weight into them. So we'll see how that plays out. Good brother. I feel like we have been going with some interesting news, some great news, even some great news. But now we have to go to some dumb news. This comes to us from the fine folks at Screen Rant. Star Wars confirms Palpatine was a clone in The Rise of Skywalker in the novelization. Now, the reason I really want to get into this, good brother, and more for anything is, you and I went on this show when the show first was created, and we talked about canon and how important Disney, not the fans, Disney told us canon was going to be. And then time after time after time, they've contradicted canon. Then we see a lot of behind-the-scenes stuff. Granted, this is from the perspective of people who are in the know and in the business. When I see this is almost my a culmination of the same thing with the Chicago Bulls. The left hand doesn't want to do what the right hand does.
Yeah.
It just doesn't know what the other side is doing.
You know my opinion, that's always been Star Wars. I think Lord Harloff says it best where I don't mind the story you're telling, just you should have put it in the movie.
Yeah.
But no offense, we got a lot of that in the original trilogy and the prequels, so it's always been like this. Like, the only difference is we have Twitter now, and we have podcasts and YouTube, and, like, people can bitch about it, but this has been Star Wars forever. Like, that's part of the lore is, like, you do have to go into it, and things might adjust slightly to what you think, so this isn't that much news to me. I think this just proves it's a slow news week when it comes to Star Wars.
Yeah.
And I think people are like, we've made livings off of, or not us specifically, but a lot of people have of just Star Wars. And you're like, we don't have a lot to talk about recently. This might be it. Because I don't think the anime hits as much as we wanted to compared to The Mandalorian.
Especially compared to The Mandalorian.
Right, that was pop culture, like, relevant. And the cartoon maybe not, like the Clone Wars. I love it. But that's not, no one's talking about it. No. So this gives people something to keep Star Wars in their mouth. So Disney's not dumb. Disney knows, like, I'd rather you be talking about Star Wars than not talking about Star Wars. Whatever it is, because we already made $1 billion, y'all. We already made it. We're going to keep making billions. Our games are great. Our TV's great. You don't love the movies? They made $1 billion. Kids love them. Deal with it.
Go kick rocks.
I'm with Star Wars Land, you still need a 3-month reservation.
Yeah, for Rise of Resistance.
Suck it, y'all. Like, that's, like, what do we want from them?
I just wanted to bring it up simply just to point out
the fact. No, it's crazy. And I think you agree. Like, you got to keep them relevant. And no headline's a bad headline, right? Unless you're Harvey Weinstein.
An interesting headline, though, good brother, from our friends over at Variety. Taika Waititi making not 1, but 2 Charlie and the Chocolate Factory animated series from Netflix. The report goes, Taika Waititi is partnering with Netflix on a pair of animated series, one based on the world of Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, and another based on the Oompa-Loompa characters. Waititi, who won an Academy Award for the Jojo Rabbit adapted screenplay, will write, direct, and executive produce both projects. 1, how do you feel about this? 2, does he play Willy Wonka?
Oh, like voice?
Yeah.
Because it's anime. No, I don't think he will. I like it. Like,
I like it too.
Taika's great. There's nothing Taika's done that's not.
And the pressure of
that's
it not being live
fantastic.
action.
Yeah, I like the direction I'm going. I'd rather see an anime than a live action because it's different. I think we're big Charlie and the Chocolate Factory fans. Like,
Yeah.
I even like
like
Willy
it.
Wonka. I didn't mind Tim
It was
Burton's
okay.
Willy Wonka.
Yeah, it was
I thought
okay.
it was fine.
Yeah, it was fine.
It's a fun world. Like, this is one of my. I could think Charlie and the Chocolate Factory is one of my first films that I watched and was like, this is a great film. Like, I get why this stands the time. And I saw it in music class at like second grade or something. And you just know, you're like, this is bigger than film. Like, this changed film. This fun, colorful, goofy, yet serious life lessons. Like, I love that movie.
Well,
That
Gene
movie,
Wilder was
that
amazing,
movie
yeah.
still holds up, and everything about it still makes me laugh. So I'm real excited because I love the universe. I love Taika.
You get nothing, sir.
Yeah, like, it's great. We've quoted that so many times. So yeah, I'm excited. Like,
I'm
this is
excited,
great.
too.
I can't wait to see. And I think at least the Oompa-Loompa stuff is like, that's fine. Like, I'd rather you just go in that direction. They've been talking about that like the
Forever.
prequel for so long.
Forever.
Taika's the guy to do it at least and be like, give me some goofy old. He's kind of like the modern, better Tim Burton almost. Where like,
what kind of animation you think we're gonna get? Are we gonna get stop motion? Are we gonna get CGI? Are we gonna get?
I hope CGI.
Mm.
Yeah, I hope CGI.
So something like the Addams Family?
Yeah, something cute like that.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be fun though. Taika Waititi, one of the great talents
Like,
that we
you
have in
can't go
Hollywood.
wrong with
You
him,
can't go wrong
right?
with
Like,
him.
what has he done that make you think, oh, Taika's not the guy for that? Especially this goofy property. Like, he's definitely the guy you want.
Let me ask the dumb novice pop culture easy question that everybody keeps asking: will Taika ever direct a Star Wars movie?
Not movie.
Okay.
No, not a movie. He'll direct maybe a show.
Yeah.
I
But
think
not a
he's
movie.
more connected to Favreau and the shows than a movie.
How about an Avengers
we
movie?
haven't. No, because we haven't got. I don't think he'll ever do an ensemble. I think we haven't. We'd have to start seeing individual soloized Star Wars films, and I don't think we're ever going to see
Interesting,
that.
sure.
Because of Solo.
Yeah.
I think they're all going to go to Disney Plus or TV shows. So I think that's where we'll see him before we see. Like, I see him doing a Boba Fett or something. Like,
But not a saga.
no, like
Yeah, okay.
like 10 episodes. I don't see him doing a movie because Star Wars doesn't want to do those kind of movies.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
decided that.
Very interesting, but one of the best
I mean,
talents.
we've
in
already
Hollywood.
pushed Obi-Wan.
Yeah, which again.
That's fine. I don't mind.
They
You
had
get,
left
you
not
get
knowing the
one.
right-
You get
yeah,
one
yeah,
push,
yeah.
and that's fine because I get it. Films are hard. Movies are hard. Make it good. You get one. It happens twice. Now I'm worried.
So good, brother. What's interesting about doing this show is we're able to talk about the stuff we love, some of the fascinating stuff, some of the stuff that we get to geek out about and just, enjoy each other's company, enjoy the company of our amazing fans. When we get to talk about Star Wars and superhero movies and sports and wrestling, and then we have serious conversations about the coronavirus. And then we get sad stories like this one. James Lipton, creator and host of Inside the Actors Studio, died at the age of 93. More than anything, obviously, his major run was already kind of over when you and I were kind of growing up. But more than anything, it's that early of people wanting to know behind the scenes and wanting to talk about opinions.
Well, you
got
got to think like that. You can almost make that the direct start of
Roger and Ebert, those guys,
Inside Hollywood. Like that's the original podcast. That's the original YouTube
pop
channel.
culture stuff.
Like
Yeah.
it was like I want to know what's going on behind the scenes. I don't want to just get lost in the wondery of movies. I want to see how these movies are being made and are these actors just like us and these producers, directors. And I think look at what we have nowadays. Where
reminds
there's
me
so much news about it.
And it always, every time I think of Kent Brockman of the Springfield, today in Springfield, it reminds me of James Lipton. It's like we wanted in the 90s and the 80s to be connected to our stars.
It's definitely a dying thing because like cable in general is dying.
Yeah.
But even them, they've gotten smart of like entertainment tonight and variety. It's like, well, we'll go to Twitter, we'll go to, web pages and YouTube, and it's fascinating how far it's come in Hollywood to where we are now and how we do our reviews. And, even then we're looking at a renaissance nowadays where the YouTube review is almost dead as is, where you maybe have 4 or 5 guys still hitting 1 million. And then it's not the same. Now we're having it's more about the conversation and finding your niche of, I like the way they talk. I like the way they talk. I like the way they talk. Or interviews even compared to we're going to sit here and talk about one movie.
And it's just because there's a lot of content out there,
Yeah.
and that this was in a time where only X amount of people had access to the audience, had access to major media and major outlets. So he was one of the ones that was a pioneer when it came to talking pop culture, talking to stars. And, it's always sad when one of the legends passes away, but James Lipton, shout out. the Emmy-winning drama dean who hosted Inside the Actors Studio. All right, good brother, you want to get angry about wrestling?
I'm actually okay with wrestling right now because
All right.
I stand AEW.
All right, well,
I am over WWE.
well,
I have
can
not
we
watched
get into
anything.
it? So let's get into WWE. We'll start up with Super Showdown results. The OC defeated the Viking Raiders. The Undertaker did come out and beat AJ Styles. And again, you mentioned to me, I was a little worried. I thought maybe they were going to just go with Aleister Black the entire way, but we are going to get
It might
AJ
be a triple
versus Undertaker.
threat.
Maybe, but we got that. The Miz and John Morrison defeat the New Day for the tag team championships, which
figured,
we're
yeah.
moving towards a match, bigger match? Angel Garza over Humberto Carrillo.
That's going to be a fatal four-way somewhere.
Seth Rollins and Murphy defeated the Street Profits, but then dropped the titles on Raw to the Street Profits. So we'll see. Where
I like
goes.
that. I stand Street Profits
Same
for
here.
sure.
Mansoor defeated Dolph Ziggler. He's the Hulk Hogan of Saudi Arabia.
Yeah.
Brock Lesnar defeated Ricochet in squash of all squash matches.
So which, you know, but I'm glad he's getting squashed so much because that means he's going to get a push
Eventually,
because
but
they're making it so obvious that
Yeah.
he's losing.
Yeah.
that we're going to get something. So
Maybe he's your Money in
that's
the Bank.
Yeah, that's one though. That's
Yeah.
one of those you're
Yeah.
like, wait a minute. It's not one of those where you're like, he's just losing, we're not mentioning it. No, he's losing and we're making it obvious that he's losing. Very Daniel Bryan-esque. I like that.
well, to me, at the end of the day, it's like I'm never gonna get mad for Brock squashing somebody because Brock would
It
squash
wasn't even
everybody.
that. It's the Monday night I think people were upset about
Yeah.
of like, oh, he lost to the 24/7 champion. And I'm like, well, no, that's what we want, guys. At this point, steer into it. Don't steer away from it.
No, I agree. Roman Reigns defeated King Corbin, and apparently was the #1 contenders match for the Universal Championship.
Yeah, sure, why not?
Yeah, Roman
why
Reigns.
not? Why not?
Bailey defeated Naomi. Cool.
Fine. I think
fine.
Naomi wins the championship
At Mania. It's the second straight year. 2 out of 3 years she would have won at Mania. Or unless she went to the
yeah,
chamber.
I mean, I don't know what Sasha's doing.
Yeah.
That women's division's kind of a mess
Weird,
right now
yeah.
on SmackDown.
Yeah. Goldberg
Goldberg.
defeated the Fiend Bray Wyatt
Damn,
for the
it's-
WWE.
He won it in
Universal
Saudi. He
Champion.
lost it in Saudi.
I told you.
But you know what? Here's what
Told
I
you.
and I know Bubba got a lot of hate for it. I get it. It's Fox.
Everybody gets
I think
that.
our argument, me and you, from the beginning was don't put Bray Wyatt on Fox. Leave him on Raw. Put Seth Rollins on.
you write it.
Go put Seth Rollins. Like, I feel like this Messiah. It's like this. The Messiah character would have fit way better on SmackDown.
Yes.
I can like that's he's just a messed up dude. And the Fiend would have been perfect on Raw.
Yeah, cable
and
television.
now we're here and you're like, yeah, I get the Fiend is still selling proper. I get like maybe you're not getting the views, and I get Goldberg is numbers. Like people that don't watch wrestling know Goldberg.
Yeah, why do you think Brock and Goldberg are having the titles before Mania?
I get it. Like I totally, completely get that aspect. Does it suck as a wrestling fan that just we have to watch wrestling for our job? Yes. But do I get Roman Reigns, your biggest babyface, survived cancer, was Rock's cousin in a movie, versus the equivalent of him, Goldberg, one of the most well-known wrestlers in the history of wrestling, going head-to-head and Roman going over? Yeah, I completely understand that. Do I appreciate The Fiend versus John Cena? Of course I do, because Cena gonna ponna him over.
But here's the thing, though. I told you this. You could have done this exact same thing without having to bury each one of them. You write the damn show.
Yeah.
You could have given Goldberg the title. You never had to give Bray Wyatt the
why
title.
couldn't it have been Bray Wyatt that lost the
Yeah,
title?
to me, it's
Couldn't
just,
Bray Wyatt have came out and lost the title and then the
it's
Fiend
just
stays protected?
about some different things. But I told you, I think there would have been more gravity had it been Cena versus Wyatt for the title. It's number 17 versus the Fiend.
Like kind of a throwaway where you're like, oh wait, the Fiend's gonna win, but maybe John Cena
wins
win.
number 17 because it's John Cena. It's like you just never know. He's the man. But we'll see.
Personal friend of mine.
So, what do you want to go to Revolution or do you want to go into WWE's next pay-per-view?
I guess we can just talk about AEW.
All right, so before we get into AEW, I want to give a shout out to AEW's unofficial home, Chicago. I know people think it's Jacksonville because the Jacksonville Jaguars.
No, it's Chicago.
Chicago is the New York City of
this is their
AEW.
Madison Square Garden. This is their Mecca.
And also, I want to give a shout out to Wintrust Arena. It's the new arena that the DePaul Blue Demons play. Shout out to Nicole Manchi. That's her alma mater here in the wonderful city of Chicago. One of the great universities, though. Okay, fair enough. But, good brother, you want to go down the card? Let's do it.
We can real quick.
We'll go with Jake Hager beating Dustin Rhodes to open up Revolution. One of my problems that I had is this opened.
Hager's a star though, man. Hager's the man. Hager's a legit badass.
So cool. I like Hager.
I like Hager a lot too.
Yeah, Goldust is cool. Yeah, Darby Allin.
That's my
man.
boy.
That's the man. Beats Sammy Guevara. I think the
Both
match.
of those guys are future champions.
I think that match. I'm never gonna say what they did is wrong because I don't know how to set up a match.
Yeah.
In my opinion, as a fan, I think they could have intertwined a little bit more of what they did throughout it differently.
Yeah.
But I liked
it a lot. Like, I think the problem is it was kind of set up to maybe the best pay-per-view all the time, and it was just a really, really great pay-per-view.
Yeah. Kenny Omega and Adam Page defeat the Young Bucks.
Now, this was probably one of the best tag team matches we've seen in recent memory.
The thing about this match is you have to get out of your mind you're not watching WWE.
Yeah.
You're not watching WWE, so you're not going to be seeing...
Like, this is on the level of...
This is New Japan.
Yeah, this is New Japan style tag team. And
PWG. This is like very indie, but high-end indie wrestling
But you
style.
still have the star power of Kenny Omega. And, Hangman's over. Like, Hangman's becoming
Cowboy
their
shit.
Stone Cold. Like, he's a tweener, and I love it. And I love the tease. Like, the storytelling is just so good with them.
Match.
I can't wait to beat because I hate the Young Bucks, but that's the
here.
point. We're supposed to hate the Young Bucks. Yeah. But like we love the Young Bucks.
This was my favorite.
Like we love them, but we hate them on the show.
But this was the first Young Bucks match that I thoroughly enjoyed.
Same.
Other than maybe go to Ibushi. And
I think it goes to Kenny and Hangman, where like they slowed it down. The psychology was better, and even the Young Bucks are stepping up more as like, no, we're wrestlers too. Like we're not spot monkeys.
Their psychology isn't where I'm used to as a fan.
Yeah, I like it better though.
But who am I to tell these guys how to?
Especially when what are the wrestling companies getting us good tag team at the moment? Like NXT's making its way back up, but NXT has been so dry lately, and I love Full Sail, but I hate Full Sail.
I'm
and
trying to get around
at
that
this
one.
point, you're like, I think WWE in general is just waiting for a mix, like a shakeup. They're like, let's get to WrestleMania. Let's hopefully deliver on a few things.
Let's get our guys their titles.
We kind of got to move around a little bit, though, because we're not setting ourselves up for success. Whereas I think AEW is only getting better. Like
it's like
the stock market where it's like WWE kind of will shoot up and then down and then shoot. Where AEW is kind of like it's been a slow build.
Constant.
And now that we're almost a year out, we're like, oh, but they're at a nice spot. Like they have, if you think who's the best heel in wrestling, Jericho or MJF. Who's the best babyface? Probably Cody and Hangman and
Allen.
That's what I'm saying. Like you, besides certain guys on NXT, you're like, well, I kind of like these guys a lot better, and they still have, and like there's so much talent they haven't even used. We're about to get Luke Harper's about to be there. Jack Hager started right. Yeah. Lance Archer. They just started fighting.
And we'll see what happens with Matt Hardy.
Orange Cassidy, we have no idea how big he's really going to be.
Well, and we'll get to that in a second. Nyla Rose defeated Chris Stanlander in probably the worst match of the night.
Yeah, Nyla Rose is the best, though. I love her interview. Was fantastic.
I like Chris Stanlander. I like them both.
Yeah, I know.
MJF, like I said, defeated Cody in a really, really good match that's going to culminate when Cody beats him for the championship in
something like that. No, I think Mox will hold on to it for a while.
MJF's your next champion.
No, I don't. Not the next. He will be. I think he's 2 away. I think we're gonna get Jericho again. Yeah, I think Jericho's gonna win it from Mox again, and then we'll see something else. But I think this next rivalry, Cody. I think you're right. I think we're getting like a year or 2 year build for this, and I think MJF's gonna go against him, and I think he's cost him a match, which causes them the championship. And then we're going to get a little hate there. I don't think he's your next champ. But you know what? I'll give him this. He's headlines right now. Flicking off that kid might have been the best thing he's ever done.
Yeah, it's MJF. That's what he does.
No, but like this specifically, like this is making like not just TMZ, but like actual Fox News stations. So you know what? Like I changed my mind. Maybe
he is
because at first I didn't know. At first I didn't think so because we thought Jericho was going to go away, and now we found out no, he's going to travel back and forth from his tours.
Good.
Like he is.
Shout out to Jericho.
Yeah, no, like
he doesn't
he
need
is.
to do that.
So I think at first I was like, well, then I think he'll retain in like 6 months. But now I'm starting to think, well, MJF I think is a lot hotter than we all thought he would have been. And
sure, by now.
Such a slimy heel. Yeah, I could see it. And like maybe in a year. When's their big WrestleMania-ish thing?
I don't know if they're going to call it All Out, All In, but
it's
that's
all
the
out,
big
right?
one. Yeah,
but that's soon, right?
All In but it's here in Chicago.
Yeah, so Mox will hold the title there. So you're like a year away. Yeah.
I think it's September.
It's far. Yeah, no, it's far. I think he has to. Jericho held it for 6 months. I think they're trying to go for longer spans. Do you think AEW needs a mid-layer title soon?
No.
Not yet?
No.
I think they're telling good enough stories where you don't. And the tag team matters
The
now.
next thing you have to do is really establish your women's title.
Which they're doing a better
They're
job now
trying
because
to.
Nyla Rose is on TV and Nyla Rose is a monster and a monster.
Do not make a 6-man tag title.
No, not yet.
Do not do it.
Like, you're like 2 or 3 years away. Like, you would have to do, I think, a United States.
When you start your second show is when you put a secondary title.
And it has to be Intercontinental, right?
No, I think they'll just call it the North American. Like, they'll do some type of
Well,
old
but yeah,
school.
look, like, everyone
they'll
has
have the TV
Intercontinental.
title.
Something
They'll
like
make the
that.
TV title. They've done everything else WCW does. Like, they'll just make a TV
Something
title.
like that.
What do you think about the tattoo?
It's fine. It's your choice, man. I would have
I'll
put it
never
on my
tattoo-
chest or my arm, but
You know what? If you were gonna put it on your neck area, I thought the better spot would have been right at the back. Right in the back of your
yeah,
neck.
like a label almost.
Because like it would have.
It's just, I just think it looks odd.
It looks
It
geometry
folds
speaking,
weird.
Yeah,
it looks
doesn't.
weird. I just did not. Like I said, you do what you want, man. Like the tattoo
Hey.
itself is sick. The
Yes.
location is just very weird to
And
me.
I love the dream that he has because like it's the dream over his
Yeah,
heart.
and like I said, if you were gonna do a neck tattoo, like it would have been kind of cool to do it in the back. Or
Yeah, to start with the bag.
yeah.
But here's the thing,
it's
too.
odd. It's very
If-
interesting.
if
It
Brandy-
threw me off at
But
first.
here's the thing: if Brandy's your wife and she says she don't like it, don't do it, Playboy. Like Brandy knows better.
Yeah, but
She knows better. She knows better.
she don't care.
No, she does care. She literally said she cares. She said that's her get out of jail free card. Is that tattoo?
Yeah, but
Like,
that's,
dude,
yeah,
that-
exactly.
Like here's
Cody
Tony
had to
Khan.
do. Cody
Tony
had to
Khan.
do the Real Housewives, so they're
Yeah,
even now.
But Tony Khan, he's I mean, he's never going to be Batman now. He's like, so there is something to like,
Yeah.
you were the face of AEW. That's tattoo. That's your logo. You've literally put your brand on your neck. But with that said, you did have movie star looks.
Yeah.
You do have movie acting
You've been a
appearances.
TV actor. You were a regular on Arrow,
Arrow.
a villain.
Now, like I get makeup happens, everything, but it's like there is something to that.
Yeah.
But
For being like, no, I want to be in wrestling.
That's
I don't
what
give a
I'm
damn.
saying,
Like,
I'm
I don't
gonna
want to
give
be
it
an
to him.
actor.
As a guy who has tattoos
It was.
and wants more.
It was very.
Jarring.
At first, I was like, "Is that real?"
Yeah.
I was like, "Is that like a tap? Maybe it's a tap tattoo."
He knows he's getting shit for it, though.
Yeah.
He knows he is. So I wonder how he's
I mean,
taking
he doesn't
it.
have to keep it technically. You get it like money does a lot of things. You can get it removed and it looks like it's never been
You should have
there.
just got a tattoo of Pharaoh.
You should have just
Just
put
get-
it in the back of
Yeah.
your neck.
Or get your husky tattooed on you. Everybody would have loved it.
Just put it anywhere else, like on your chest, your bicep.
Did you see that cool Chicago themed Pharaoh shirt he had?
No.
Super cool. But he has cool merch. Cody has some
Yeah,
great
they
merch.
have great merch.
Yeah. But MJF's going to be your future champ. Pac defeated Orange Cassidy in a
Freshly squeezed. Freshly squeezed.
in a match. I love the first Orange Cassidy match. I am now a stand of Orange Cassidy. A match that
How
gave
are
Jim
you
Cornette
not? Like he's the
a
most,
brain aneurysm.
He's probably the most over. He's probably the most over in AEW, I'd say. Jericho even says like Orange Cassidy is the most over, and we have Woke Culture saying, guys, he's probably going to be a champion in the next 2 years.
Here's the thing too. Good looking kid,
Yep,
very athletically built,
skills
very skilled for that type of wrestling,
and gets his role.
and is over with his fans.
I love it.
That's
Freshly
it.
squeezed.
Freshly squeezed.
Freshly squeezed.
And like to me, I'll tell you, the match was great. But on Dynamite the next week, when he rolled in and he took off his jacket to fight Pac again, I'm like, oh, so they're not just gonna make this a one and done. They're like, no, Pac is bringing the best out of him. I used to
I
love
like
the
his
Lucha.
pairing with the Lucha Brothers.
I'm too much Lucha Bros for me. I love the Lucha Bros. Too much of what the Lucha Bros do is too Lucha Underground for me.
That's fine.
For
But
their-
you
for that.
need that. You need to build that.
I love Pentagon and Phoenix.
Yeah. That's like saying
love
I
them.
don't want to see Ray, Garza,
No,
Andrade.
That's
and-
not the same. That is not the same. The way Andrade, Humberto,
Well, because they're WWE
Garza,
style.
That's
but
what I'm saying.
But in the layer, these are all the same guys. Like, am I more excited? I'm with you. Like, I think Lucha Underground was a shit show.
I
and
love Lucha,
I think
though.
you're a shit
Well,
person
Ricochet
for liking
came
it.
out from
That's
there.
cool.
Brian
I still
Cage.
cool, dude. You're
Jeff Cobb.
Cool. If you like Lucha Underground, you're a shit wrestling fan.
Wow,
You're a
dude.
shit person.
Luchasaurus.
And it died. Cool. They're doing better. They're better stars everywhere else.
That started from
Anyway,
there.
I can't wait to see an all Hispanic United States Championship ladder match at WrestleMania.
That would be phenomenal.
like all 4 of those.
Could they put anybody else in there? That's Hispanic.
No, those are the 4 guys.
That's it, right?
I don't see anyone else.
Yeah, I think that would be.
Those are,
Where
those
are the
four
Cologne
main
boys?
guys. Yeah,
Where are the
both
Cologne boys at?
You get colognes in there. That's about it.
And finally, good brother John Moxley defeated Chris Jericho for the AEW World Championship. Looked like he got concussed. I thought it was a fun match.
He's good.
Let me ask you this: what will it take for John Moxley to ever become John Moxley's. I've been a fan of John Moxley since 2008, like forever. Can he ever become Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns?
No, I think John
culture?
Moxley's definitely more of a Bret Hart, where you're like, people love him. He needs a good record. He needs a lot of wins. He just doesn't do it for me on the mic. Like, his whole thing is, it's very with Bret Hart a lot, because I don't love Bret Hart, where it's like, I know you're the best, and I get it. And if you keep winning, I'm going to keep buying it. But, like, I don't have a lot of leeway for you that I do for Seth Rollins and Roman. It's like, you're just not coming out the way I wanted to. And like I said, you're going to be a legend, and you can hold the shame for out. I think you need a lot of wins. I think you need to be booked as, like, the badass, because as soon as you're not,
it's over.
It's over.
So it's so fascinating you say that, because I think right now, the Death Rider, John Moxley, your AEW world champion, can still walk into, right now, WrestleMania, and still not be as over as Roman or Seth.
No,
and to me that's crazy, because it's
all
not
about the belt. It's like it's nice to see like 8-0, like like champion closing out. Like, he's a badass. He's not great on the mic.
Let me ask you this:
he really isn't, especially in front of live. Like, I think his backstage stuff's better. On the mic, he's very just. Oh, I'm doing it. I'm John Moxley, and I don't give a damn. Like. It's a little overplayed. There's not a lot there.
Do you like Death Rider, John Moxley, or did you like Joker?
Death Rider.
You like Death Rider more than Joker, Dean Ambrose?
Yeah.
It's just so fascinating to me, because I thought without a shadow of a doubt, John Moxley was going to be the star. Yeah. Especially like when...
I mean, he is, but the star. I think it's a very fast turnaround. That's an issue where, like, as soon as he gets that title gone, do I really want to see him anymore in a title picture? Yeah.
That's interesting.
Not really.
Yeah. I mean,
he's one of those guys, you come in, you do a program, and then what happens after? Like, here's the difference. Can I see John Moxley without and not in the title picture? What is he going to do? Compared to Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns, you're like, I kind of enjoy seeing them even when they're not. Like, they have good storylines and they're fun. I don't see John Moxley doing that right now, and that's an issue for me. It's like, what happens when this title is gone and he's out of the title picture for now? What does he do?
And it's interesting, because they give this guy a lot of shit in Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar likes to do business, though. And for some reason, the only member of the Shield he did not do good business with was Dean Ambrose.
Oh, I love Drew McIntyre and Brock Lesnar. That's probably the best thing in WWE right now.
Yeah, we'll get to that. Yeah,
Raw's really good.
Well, great transition, good brother. The AEW Revolution, phenomenal show. Shout out to Chicago. But we move on to another show that we hope is just halfway decent, and that is Elimination Chamber. Such a quick turnaround. So we'll start off with Natalya versus Liv Morgan versus Shayna Baszler versus Asuka versus Ruby Riott versus Sarah Logan. The winner gets a chance at the man Becky Lynch at WrestleMania 36. Shayna. Kind of interesting how from last year, I think, by the way, Becky Lynch opens up WrestleMania 36.
Yeah.
Because,
at this point,
she's opening up WrestleMania 36. Braun Strowman defends the Intercontinental Championship in a 3-on-1 handicap match against Shinsuke, Cesaro, and Sami Zayn. Oof. First of all, though, nice to see Sami Zayn wrestling.
Yeah, no, it's fun. I mean, obviously, this is just for Braun to be over. Yeah. I don't know who's taking that title from him, honestly. Like, I don't see the storyline yet, but it's time to build.
Braun. In the Elimination Chamber match, the only one on this pay-per-view, now that we know who... Oh, I guess this is the second one now, right? Officially, because we have the... Women's. Okay, cool. So this is the second one because... there's only two.
There's not a men's?
No, there's no men's one.
Tag
because they took it out after Roman said, I'm the number one contender.
Okay, so there's a tag.
Yeah, so that was what's throwing me off. So we have our second Elimination Chamber, the second of the night, for the SmackDown Tag Team Championships, The Miz and John Morrison.
They'll retain.
Against The New Day, The Usos, Otis and Tucker, Lucha House Party, Dolph Ziggler, and Robert Roode.
I mean, it's going to steal the show. That's going to be fantastic.
The Miz and John Morrison. My question is, who are they going against at Mania? Is it New Day?
I think it's New Day.
Okay, cool. So I'm trying to figure out whether or not
New
it's just
Day,
going to be that
simple. Something like that, yeah.
Could be that. It could be that as a triple threat.
Could be Heavy Machinery. They can push them. It doesn't
Interesting.
matter.
We'll see.
Maybe not yet. They're probably another 6 months away.
Yeah. Street Profits take on Seth Rollins and Murphy for the Tag Team Championships. I'm going to go Seth Rollins and Murphy.
No, I got the Street Profits.
So where do we go now for Seth Rollins? Where's Seth Rollins going? Is he going against KO straight up?
Yeah, he's going against KO.
So
I think he'll go against KO with Buddy Murphy in his corner.
Okay.
Kind of like a Jericho. It seems like a very Jericho-Sammy thing. And then KO would just kind of be KO, you know?
Okay, I see what you're saying.
You see what I mean? Like, I feel like Buddy Murphy there kind of interfere. and it's gonna be a straight up because that's got to be your one straight up. If it's like just straight up brutal match, KO, Seth Rollins, boom.
So is the Street Profits versus AOP in the pre-show Mania?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that'll be it because AOP is gonna be the one to take it from Street Profits.
Okay. Aleister Black versus AJ.
Interference Undertaker.
I'm gonna go AJ, and he beats up Aleister Black. That makes as a message to Undertaker.
We'll see. I think Taker comes up before we get a thing. If not, then I think Aleister.
And this is the last match that they have marked.
No, AJ gets cost the match because Undertaker interferes. Aleister knocks him out, but Aleister's mad. Triple threat.
That'd be cool. Andrade versus Humberto Carrillo for the United States Championship. This is the last match. So only 6 matches on this card have been announced before we've watched SmackDown.
Andrade, wait, who? No, Andrade's Andrade will retain. We're gonna get a ladder match. I think we've been rumored that forever. I think we'll get the ladder match, and I think Garza will be the one to win eventually.
I think Carrillo wins it.
You think Carrillo?
I think they're still punishing Andrade.
Yeah, no, he's a Flair. They don't punish Flairs.
He's not an official Flair yet,
He
though.
kind of is.
Now, he's not as much like Nikki was.
But they
Cena.
like him compared to Del Rio. They're like, we kind of like.
They like him way more.
Like Flair,
yeah.
you like this kid? Cool. Okay, he's you.
No, they like him more.
We'll let him have the time. We know he failed the drug test. We'll let him keep it. Usually we would have took it off, but he's your boy, so we're just gonna leave it.
But it's gonna be interesting. We'll see how it ends up playing out. I'm not in love with everything.
It's a transition. It's a transition. It's like the most. If it wasn't for Kofi last year, we would not remember Elimination Chamber.
No, not at all. Yeah, no, it was.
And the tag title match, basically. Like that, we got new women's tag. Like they had to really stack it. This year, you're kind of like, okay, I like men's tag match elimination. That's fun. Shayna Baszler finally gonna get her opera. Like now we can officially say it. That's cool.
And she's gonna win.
Other than that, that's about it.
Yeah. So I mean, we'll see as we get closer. I'm excited to see
them
McIntyre
to start using the women's tag team titles again. That would be fun.
How crazy!
I hope the way it looks that Paul Heyman's doing a slow build for the Riot Squad to kind of come back and actually be someone. Because when they got bumped up, we're like, all 3 of them are really good. Like they have a place.
I think they don't trust Kairi Sane.
No,
injury prone.
Yeah, both of them. Even Asuka almost got replaced because she's injured.
Yeah, but Asuka
she messed up her wrist.
Yeah, Asuka's Asuka. Like they love Asuka. Yeah. That we'll keep our eyes on, and we'll see how we get closer to it. But good brother, jam-packed show. As we were going through, did you see anything on the interweb that we needed to plug before we leave? Anything big? Any huge news in the world of entertainment, pop culture, or sports? So that means, good brother, we finish off the week strong, and we get ready for our weekend. And we hope each and every one of you has a safe, wonderful weekend. You can follow us on the socials, the Good Brothers on Twitter at Mercado21Alex, and on Instagram at Mercado2121. I'm on Twitter at Mike M Media, and on Instagram at Mike Mercado Media. This show is on Twitter at Good Brothers Pod, and the network's on Twitter at Mercado Airwaves. Please like, rate, review, and share us wherever you get your favorite podcast. It really helps us if you guys leave a comment and gives us 5 stars. It helps us grow the brand, and we really appreciate it. And if you would like to support the network on a different level, visit us at patreon.com/Mercado Airwaves. For the good brother himself, Alex Mercado.
Adios.
Good luck to you and the kids this coming up weekend. For the good brother himself, Mike Mercado. I'll see you guys next time. Thank you for joining us on this episode of The Good Brothers here on the Mercado
Airwaves Network.
Thanks for joining us here on The Good Brothers, here on Mercado Airwaves.